Game Awards, the time of the year where we get to celebrate video games. But more importantly, however, we get to decide what was the game to represent the whole year in its entirety. The Game Awards has been going on for a lot longer than you think. Starting in 2003 as
Spike TV's Video Game Awards, hosted by Samuel L. Jackson.
Before Jeff Keighley completely took it over in 2014 and titled it just the Game Award. That means this marks 20 years of the Game Awards, so I thought it would be a good idea to go on my stream and play all of the previous winners to see if they all stood up today. Also, to clarify, some games I've not played, and so some of what I'm saying is first impressions. And so that means we have to start all the way back at 2003 with Madden! Madden! We love Madden! Yes! Football! Yes! Let's go, ladies and gentlemen! Yes! Football! Yes! Despite Tony Hawk and Finding Nemo coming out this year, it's no wonder why this game won the first
Spike TV's Video Game Awards.
And of course, it would be football. Because, you know, the Spike Video Game Awards are for games, which are for boys, duh. And what isn't there to love about Madden? I mean, it has football, it has sports, it has a banging menu music that I can't play in the video, it has so many football moves that sound like anime attacks, single back big, HB belly strike, smash curls attack, under 7 slice maneuver. There is one big issue I found when I played this game, however. I don't know how the fuck to play Madden. Go Pitman. No, fuck. Go. All right, here we go. Okay, quarterback sneak it. Fuck! Oh, hello, it's me. Wait, I got a penalty? For all intents and purposes, though, this is the best game we've played so far. Let's move on to the year 2004 with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Unfortunately, I learned with this definitive edition being released on Steam, they had removed the original version of San Andreas off of the platform, which means there was only 2 options in order for me to play this game. I could either play, maybe not that one. Ooh, yikes. Ugh. Or I bought it on iPad. The thing that sells San Andreas the hardest is it's lively and full of color, world, and characters. Crystal meth is illegal. You can't do crystal meth. Playing this game, it makes complete sense why this game took off. The vibes this game gives off is honestly something that is impossible for games to replicate. And it completely masters exactly the kind of aesthetic that it's trying to go for. Everything is sporadic, chaotic. Missions going from spray a building to kill the crack dealer. Now go to the crack dealer's home and kill his whole family. And then the next mission will be order food and
I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda.
By the way, that scene is followed by a drive-by, and then you drive Big Smoke home. I mean, seriously, the entire time I was playing this video game, the only thing I could think to myself is, what the fuck is going on? But even though I normally want to sit here and criticize that the missions are all fucking over the place and are not connected and make no sense, I can't help but feel like that's the charm of the game. The city is different from when CJ left.
Welcome home, Carl. Glad to be back.
Okay, I'm gonna be real, I did not know his name was Carl. And things have gotten crazy, which is a fantastic way to describe this game. GTA San Andreas is about mourning the loss of your family, reconnecting to those who made you who you are, and relearning what it means to be a family. While at the same time, Big Smoke is insane at basketball.
Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4 is the only game that I can think of for being nominated for the Game of the Year twice. First in 2005, and its remaster being a contender for this year's Game Award. And I feel like that alone should say a lot about Resident Evil 4. I mean, Neon Kennedy's hair flip alone should tell you all you need to know about this game. Oh yeah, I'm gonna cut. Resident Evil 4, however, instantly nails one of the most important factors of what a horror game should be: the atmosphere and that feeling of uncertainty. When you play Resident Evil, you normally think, so you come in thinking, I'm gonna shoot the fuck out of a zombie. However, the first person you run into isn't even a zombie, but just a person. But clearly there's something wrong with him because he has no manners. And then when you keep playing, you realize that no one in this town is zombies, but they sure fucking act like it, and they love sinking into the floor. And there it is, that uncertainty of what is going on. That being said, it's so hard to take this game seriously when... Also, one of the antagonists in this game is Boogie 298's Shaman, and his name is the Big Cheese, and he injects you with fucking awesome, and that, I think, is super cool. 2006 awarded one of my favorite video games of all time, Oblivion. And you know what? Revisiting it... Another rat! Oh, fuck! This game certainly hasn't aged well. However, to me, because of nostalgia, this game is one of the definitive RPGs. Sure, the combat fucking sucks. The dialogue is super funny.
Tongue shriller than all the music calls me.
What does he say? They can only afford 4 voice actors, and everything that happens is just absolute fucking nonsense. Why am I here?
Perhaps the gods have placed you here so that we may meet.
He has lost it. But to me, this game just oozes that idea of player choice. You can make custom spells, they have a ton of classes, but you can just like fuck it and play whatever you want. And there's a ton of freedom for how you want to play this game. From all the side stories like the Arena, the Brotherhood, Knights of the Nine, there's such an alluring and interesting stories that I always find myself lost in this world of Cyrodiil. Honestly, I could go on and on about this game, and maybe one day I will, but right now I don't want to bore you to death with a Bethesda RPG. So I'll just leave you with this clip. There it is, the horse, the $5 horse armor. This is the DLC that ruined gaming. 2007 winner was Bioshock, and holy fuck. This is one of the few times I actually connected this hard with a video game instantly. The intro of this game is one of the most beautiful, alluring, and intense beginnings to a video game I have ever played. Well, I'd never played Bioshock before. I had played Bioshock Infinite several times, and the world building that 2K Games provides is outstanding. Those grotesque people who jump at you and scream, laughing down those suffocating hallways and jaw-dropping views of the landscape that are the Rapture just fill your mind with this wonder. The amount of detail filled with every room you enter, almost all of them telling its own story, and the huge amount of audio logs make the city feels so alive. The themes of social structures and morality when those are teared apart and makes everything so interesting. And when you find your first little sister, that scene is absolutely fucking chilling. There is nothing but positive things I can say about this game, and I am extremely glad I got to experience what a fantastic game Bioshock is. 2008 is GTA 4, and while this game is fun, it's hard in this current age to not see why you would play this over Grand Theft Auto 5. This game has a lot of the frameworks of what makes GTA 5, but it lacks all of the polish, which totally makes sense because this is the game that came before it. I mean, what do you expect playing a game that's older in the franchise? That being said, the identity of this game is completely different from all the other Grand Theft Autos I've played. Instead of being in a gang or being fucking filthy rich, the game gives you the angle of America from someone outside of it. This game follows 2 people chasing the American dreams and entering the wonders of America, only to be faced with the reality of it. These people struggle to get by, especially when they're chasing the high that the American dream promises. The characters, like all GTA games, are loud and expressive, and Rockstar's character writing makes these characters instantly recognizable, wildly entertaining, and instantly likable. Every single character here, like Nico and Rowan, have such a fun dynamic between each other. One character being pissed off and fed up with the world, while the other is just boldly chasing that American dream, expecting it to work out. Obviously though, when I think of Grand Theft Auto, I think driving back and forth between the same 2 places for 2 hours and then going bowling. An entire game of bowling. All right, that's enough of this game. 2009 was Uncharted 2's year, and honestly, the niche this game created makes total sense why it would win. As a fan of Indiana Jones, it is no wonder that a game where you just climb around places and find treasure, followed by following really strange clues that only people with made-up brains could figure out, but instead of an 800-year-old man, you follow the age of somebody who's about my age, would be a game that I would relate to. I mean, the target demographic is widowy me. And honestly, the set pieces for this game throughout are so action-packed and are, for lack of a better term, this game's a movie for real. I mean, the start of the game, you start off climbing a falling fucking train.
You overlooked one little detail, didn't you, partner? What? Face it, genius,
he is not normal. That being said, if I had to throw critique at this game, a lot of this game feels like it's segmented between climbing sections and shooting gun sections, which makes the game feel a bit more running through a script to me and very segmented and divided. It's something I felt the entire time playing throughout the franchise, although I will say Uncharted 4 to me was the best at mixing up the gameplay. Also, the end of these games gets so fucking wild that it pulls me out sometimes. Another piece of critique, I hate shooters on consoles. Hey, I love them, Cowboy. Red Dead Redemption, Game of the Year 2010 is giving me the realization that there's not a lot of cowboy games. And you know, Rockstar making the best cowboy game makes sense, because you know what? I do want to be GTA, but on a horse. And a cool one at that. Have you seen John Marston? He's awesome. And honestly, that's what this game really is. GTA on horses. And I like that. That's all I need. That's all I want from it. I want, yeah, yeah. I wish I could say more about the story about this game, but unfortunately, there's 20 games I have to play. Ever since 2011, I've hated Skyrim, which is ironic because I feel like I'm 5 years old again, chat. Oh my God, I feel like I'm straight back to fucking 2006. I feel like I just turned 7 years old and I'm so excited to play this game. But I feel like it's my love for Oblivion that clouds my judgment for Skyrim. This game feels like it's the worst parts of Oblivion. That clunky dialogue, the 4 voice actors, the dumb as fuck AI, and then it gets rid of all of the parts that make Oblivion what Oblivion does so great. All the custom spells in this game are dumbed down, not fun. The side quests are neutered. Like the mage quest in Oblivion was 40 fucking quests long, but in this game, you show up to college, you kill one guy who was very angry, and then now you're the archmage. I can't help but feel like it just doesn't make sense, and it leaves me unsatisfied. It's probably just huge nostalgia goggles, but I can't get past it. Every questline in Skyrim feels like just a neutered version of the one from Oblivion. The Dark Brotherhood, the Thieves Guild, everything just feels so lackluster compared to the 4th game. And so when I play Skyrim, it just feels like a really boring step backwards. But that's how people feel about Oblivion when they played Morrowind. And you know what? The mods in Skyrim are pretty funny. 2012's The Walking Dead is the most I have and will ever care about The Walking Dead. This is a Telltale game, which means really the gameplay is just we're gonna walk around and talk to characters and make choices that definitely really matter. And normally, I hate these games. They're so dumb and stupid and boring. But honestly, this first chapter is really interesting. The first thing that stands out to me is the art style of this video game. I mean, it looks straight out of a fucking comic book, which makes it super cool and super timeless. Games in 2012 were looking like this. And The Walking Dead still looks good. And honestly, compared to all the other games in this kind of genre, the characters are kind of likable. I mean, this guy is named Duck, and that's fucking awesome. That being said, there are absolutely a bunch of dumb fuck characters in this game who keep saying things that make no goddamn sense. But this is probably the best I'm gonna get for a walk around talkie game. That being said, it beat Dishonored and Borderlands 2, and that makes no sense to me. 2013 was the first time I ever got to play Grand Theft Auto with Grand Theft Auto 5 because my mom wouldn't let me play it because it was too violent. I didn't play this game until 2015. Grand Theft Auto 5 is such an interesting game to me because the majority of my experience playing was in GTA Online, in which that just seems to become extremely boring almost instantaneously. I mean, as soon as you get the big car and the big house, what more do you want in life? Is this how Bezos feels? For years, I had written this game off because of my online experience, but then I decided this year to go back and play the story to see what it was all about. And oh my God, was I surprised. Every single character in this game had this huge deep nuance. Like when I first saw Trevor, I thought, oh great, it's the loud and vulgar character, and he's funny and everyone likes him because he's loud and he's vulgar. But then I actually experienced the story of what Trevor is, that feeling of heartbreak, betrayal, and then you start to understand that Trevor is more than just a loud and vulgar person. He's someone who's hurt. And it's all these moments of character writing to me that makes Grand Theft Auto 5 so special. Not those big flashy explosions and running and hiding from the police. It's those moments of Trevor realizing Michael's alive, them meeting again, Michael constantly trying to fight for the love of his son and his wife, but not understanding that those problems are himself. Those are the moments that make Grand Theft Auto 5 such a special game. The heists are pretty funny too, though. 2014, Dragon Age Inquisition. This is the one game I know absolutely fuck all about. I didn't even know what this game looked like. All I knew was that all the Dragon Age posters have a dragon on it, and this game is green. And you know, looking at the game, green. You know what? I think the green was important. Anyways, this game is cool. If I had to bastardize this game, it's kind of like an MMO, but if it's single player, so I don't have to wait for a server to tell me where the fuck I'm standing. Fuck you, Fall Guys 14. It also means I get to press a bunch of buttons, which is always so much fun. I love pressing buttons. It's also got a bunch of characters, like this guy's bald. And you know what? I found this really cool feature where if you press control, it pauses the whole game. And that's really cool because this might be an issue. The unfortunate fact is that this is a BioWare RPG, and like I said, I have 20 games to go through, which means I did not have enough time to sit down and deep dive through this game. But this game has a bunch of super fun set pieces, and it's got fun gameplay, and I really would be down to go and play through the whole game. Anyways, Witcher. 2015 was such a different time because people actually loved CD Projekt Red, and it really makes sense seeing how they made the game The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt. I'd give Game of the Year to just this view.
That's as beautiful as ever.
If I can describe this game, the best way I can describe it is it's like BBC Sherlock if it was actually good in the medieval times, and you also have a horse whose name is Roach, which is awesome by the way, except for the fact that he controls like absolute dog shit. This game is dense. It's so dense. There's an entire well thought out card game that you can play just on the side of the game, and then they turn it into its own game, kind of dense. There's just so much to do. It's so much packed into these towns and the combat and the world. And on top of that, this game had a DLC that doubled the size of the game. And then on top of that, they gave out a fuck ton of DLC just for free, just for people to enjoy. This game oozes love and passion from the developers, which made their next game all the more embarrassing for their upper management. I'd say shout out Crunch Time, but no. Fuck that. 2016 was Overwatch, but since they shut it down and replaced it with Overwatch 2, which is definitely a different game, it means that I can't tell you anything about it because, you know, I can't play it. So I guess we'll never know. I'm so glad I don't get to play this game. 2017 released the Switch, but more eventfully, Breath of the Wild came out on Nintendo Wii U. Yes! As someone who constantly likes to get sucked into open world games, it is obvious that this game consumed my entire life, which is strange looking back on it because my feelings for Breath of the Wild is extremely conflicted. It's both an amazing, beautiful art experience, walking around these stylized terrains of Hyrulean fields and listening to one of the most gorgeous soundtracks I've ever heard. And at the same time, that's all I feel like I can do. The exploration is shallow, the plot is even more shallow, and once you kill like a golden Lionel, it really feels like you've just tapped it off. Go grind the giant dragon for 100 years and get all the fucking tears or whatever. That's not to say that I don't like it or that I don't think this game deserves the praise it's get. I just think this game is so polarizing because of the one thing it does so well. And that's sandbox. The amount of creativity this game gets you by letting you explore its mechanics is second to none in any other video game. Breath of the Wild just gives you so many tools to fuck around with and lets you do so much dumb shit. And if that's not what you find fun, then you're just gonna do the most boring option just to win. It's like playing Minecraft with your only goal is beating the Ender Dragon. You will forever have a really shitty Minecraft house, and you'll never have anything to flex. And for that, Breath of the Wild and its sequel have those special experiences for me. And even though I have all sorts of problems with those games, I still end up loving it. That being said, it beat Persona 5, and that pisses me off. Speaking of pissed off, 2018's winner has the greatest start game button ever in the world. Here, look at this. And we're playing. It's so sick. If I could describe how I feel playing this game, it would just be one word. Badass. This game is badass. Everything about it. The set pieces in this game that it puts you through are some of my favorite moments I've ever fucking played. And the complete raw and utter destruction that Kratos does is a fucking sight to behold. And the direction of these scenes and the way the camera twists and turns around all these action scenes is always so jaw-dropping to me. Every second of this game and its story of Kratos learning to hold his inner peace for the sake of his son is such a compelling tale, and it's such an incredible angle for this character who is normally somebody who's a banner of rage. And completing that voyage of getting to the top of the mountain of giants is an absolute unforgettable gaming experience. Holy fuck, this game is amazing. I am so sad it took me this long to touch this game, but this game is fucking awesome. It's fucking fast. It's fucking samurai. It's fucking Japan. It's fucking... Normally, From Software games have this slow, methodical gameplay that's like chess, but this game is like, fuck that, let's go crazy, and holy shit, it's awesome. So, I've never played The Last of Us. When I saw Last of Us 2 won 2020, I thought, this is really funny because... Ooh, that would not get a hole in one. Unfortunately, I can't say a lot about the story, seeing how I missed fucking half of it, and I can't get intimate with the characters because I don't have time. I have so many games to play. So the most I can say is this line of dialogue is expertly written to be one of the most cringe conversations, but in a good way. I can also say that The Last of Us is the only zombie game I've ever played where the zombies are actually scary. So that's bonus points for them. Good job on that, because no one else has figured that shit out. And if I can think of anything else, stop making me play shooters on the fucking PlayStation! Okay, that's the wrong button. Okay, this sucks. 2021 gave my favorite co-op experience the award it deserved. It Takes Two. Ever since appearance of the Game Awards where he did his iconic
fuck the Oscars, you know? Fuck the Oscars!
Fuck you! Joseph Fares has been someone I've always kept my eye on because his vision of creating story-driven co-op experience is something that I crave. Experiencing stories with your friends or a partner is a market that is so empty since the rise of PvP popularity, and it's been fucking insane. Stop asking me to play League of Legends. I don't want to play it. I'll never play League of Legends. I just want to play like Borderlands or something with people. It Takes Two takes the ideas of his first game A Way Out and expands on it 8,000-fold. It constantly evolves its gameplay and its ever-changing environments that are so beautifully and wonderfully built. This game feels like there's so much love put into it, and every single second feels like what a game should be. Fun. Everything about this game is fun. The mini games, the levels, the stories, and even when it's all fun, this game is fucked up, evil, sick, and twisted. A little... This has become one of my favorite games released in the past decade, and I'm so excited to see what his team can come up with next. To end this list, 2022 brought Elden Ring. This game is From Software at their best, and the reception of this game really reflects what this game is. For me, a lot of the Souls games runs into the cycle of getting to a boss and then bashing your head against it for 30 minutes and then deciding you have to run around the same level over and over again, back and forth until you hit enough levels to then bash your head against the wall, against the boss for 2 hours until you beat it, and then you have to do it again. Elden Ring fixes that loop by saying, fuck it, the walls are open. Welcome to the world, buddy. You can just say fuck it and grind and go do whatever you want and then come back to the boss whenever you feel like it. And the fights in this game are an absolute spectacle to experience. From Renala, Radon, Estelle, the Fire Giant, this game just bleeds so much beauty and grace in such a fuck up and twisted evil world in my mind. This game is just another game that's just oozing so much content everywhere you go, and there's so much choice a player gets to make on how they want to play this game and what they want to do. This game is a spectacle in and of its own, and I am shocked every time I pick up my controller and play this game. And here we are, the end of the video. You can tell it's the end because I'm wearing a different shirt. What did we learn? Shockingly, the games that won Game of the Year are good. Are they the most iconic games that came out that year? But I'm surprised by how many of these games hold up today, and it really says a lot about the games that won. And it's crazy that some games can be timeless while other games become something completely different from what they originally were supposed to be. And it will forever be funny that Madden 2004 won the first Game of the Year. I mean, Hulk on GameCube came out that year. If you enjoyed this video, you should check out this video here where I made fun of anime titles. Why? Because have you seen what some of them are called?